Welcome to Wingin' It episode number 15, and now your host, the pilot instructor for Sully Sullenberger, Dr. D.
Yeah. Welcome to Wingin' It. I am your host, Dr. D. If you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, or Google Podcasts, please leave a 5-star review and click subscribe. And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you like it, leave a comment, and click that red subscribe button for us. Now introducing the contestants for this evening. First, coming to us from the District of Columbia area, you can find him on Instagram at ddub.comedy. Please welcome our buddy DeWayne White. DeWayne, tell us something about yourself.
Let's see. I live in Northern Virginia outside of D.C., and I am the only Virginia hunter education instructor to both give money accidentally to PETA and shoot my truck.
Yes, that is a dichotomy for sure. That's the word smart people would use. Welcome our next guest coming to us from Brooklyn, New York. You can find him on Instagram at brian.boucher. As always, that's Bueche. Our buddy Brian Boucher. Brian, tell us something about yourself.
As you can probably tell, I desperately need a haircut real bad. It's getting bad. Like, look at this.
Yeah, you got like a flock of seagulls thing going on.
I sure do.
Yes. I think it looks good on you, though.
Thank you. I still want to cut, though.
And coming to us from New Jersey, you can find him on Instagram at NoFilterPaul. Please welcome the best gift England's ever given to the United States, our buddy NoFilterPaul. Tell us something about yourself, Paul.
I'm stuck in New Jersey with COVID, so this is the nearest I get to people at this time.
You still have it?
Well, they say that it's been 3 weeks, but they say that you can show up to 2 months with a test.
It's not herpes. You don't have it for life.
Yeah. I'm just milking it, not going back to work until like the end of December. So
I respect that.
Yeah, really. December 2022. If I get to work properly.
All right. Now let's get to our prompts. What can you say about your house, but not your significant other? Something you can say about your house, but not your significant other. Like, hey, she's got quite a furnace. That's like a cheesy 70 comedy line right there. DeWayne.
Be careful. The back door sticks a little.
Brian.
I think in a few years I'm going to sell it.
Paul.
He didn't quit his job when I got a promotion.
DeWayne.
Oh my God, the carpet stinks.
Oh, it's so true, Brian.
I just wish it was a little smaller.
Paul.
He didn't call the cops when I punched it in the door.
Jesus. DeWayne.
I think the garage is just too big.
Brian.
I think it'd be a little weird to, name it.
Paul.
That guys aren't welcome in my house.
Hey. Hey, all right, good job. What not to say to police. What not to say to police. Hey, cop, I'll take a dozen donuts. What do you say, buddy? Let's go with Brian.
Yo, you guys like NWA?
Paul.
Can I offer you a Dunkin' Donuts gift card?
DeWayne.
How much exactly meth is too much?
Brian.
Whatever you think I did, it's fine. I'm from Long Island. We're basically brothers.
Paul.
Firefighters are the real heroes. Am I right?
So true. DeWayne.
No, I don't know how fast I was going. This thing pegs out at 120.
Brian.
Sunglasses are stupid.
Paul.
I can't believe it took 4 of you pansies to kill an unarmed black man. Maybe you should go back to just planning evidence.
DeWayne.
My gun's bigger.
Oh, hey now. All right, good job. I just avoided Paul's joke. I was not even going to comment on that. Odd things to hear at a parent-teacher conference. What are some odd things you might hear at a parent-teacher conference? Your daughter has an oral fixation. Ball.
Honeylingus. He can't spell it, but he sure can do it.
DeWayne.
Your son made the dean's list.
Brian.
You know, my son was really nervous about coming into class after he contracted COVID, but it's totally fine.
Paul.
Your kid was failing, but now he gets me really good weed.
DeWayne.
Oh, same lines. Oh, he makes great mixed drinks.
Brian.
So my son tells me you put on Magic Mike in class?
Paul.
Why are you here? You know you're not allowed within 500 feet of any school.
That's what Paul hears at all his parent-teacher conferences. DeWayne.
No, I think he's going to be a cop.
And Brian.
I actually don't have any kids. I just like to watch.
Woo! All right, good work. Signs for Americans in other countries. Signs for Americans in other countries. I wasn't going to do one, but I think someone might do it, so I'll save it. I'm magnanimous. DeWayne.
Elevator capacity is 12 or 3 Americans.
Brian.
Next McDonald's, 3 miles.
Paul.
Yes, this is the shortcut to downtown Tijuana.
DeWayne.
Welcome to London, traders.
Brian.
Next Walmart, 3 miles.
Paul.
Here is where we really keep our weapons of mass destruction.
DeWayne.
No, you speak our language, bitches.
Brian.
Next Dick's Sporting Goods, 3 miles.
Paul.
Welcome, women with clitorises.
Oh, jeez. Oh, DeWayne, mine was going to be along the lines of yours. Just put anything in a foreign language and Americans can't read it. So, unlikely things to hear in a nursing home. Unlikely things to hear in a nursing home. Put that away, Mr. Johnson. Brian.
I voted for Joe Jorgensen this year.
Paul.
I can't believe she's still that tight at her age.
DeWayne.
Wet t-shirt contest starts in 15 minutes. Wet t-shirt contest, 15 minutes.
You could be a cruise director. Brian.
I liked The Rise of Skywalker better than Empire Strikes Back.
Paul.
You're right. It wasn't because she's a squirter.
DeWayne.
When I get home, I'm gonna... That's it.
Brian.
Wet ass pussy makes that pull-out game weak.
Paul.
Sorry.
And that's when I realized she was dead.
DeWayne.
Since you're such a good customer, Mr. Johnson, welcome to the Kevorkian suite.
That's the best suite in the house.
That's right.
All right, good job. Last words to hear from people on death row. Last words to hear from people on death row. Did you guys pay the electric bill this month?
Right.
Wayne.
I still say the election was a hoax.
Brian.
Well, I guess you'll never find out where the other bodies are.
Paul.
By the way, did you find your mom's body?
DeWayne.
Okay, I see the light, so I'm going to close with this.
Brian.
Oh man, does it smell like Updog in here?
Paul.
I don't care what you do. I'm still not admitting to sleeping with Rosie O'Donnell.
DeWayne.
I have an Amazon package tomorrow. Can you guys be a dear and pick that up for me?
Brian.
These nuts.
Those are the best last words ever. Paul.
I just don't get it. I fucked kids in Cambodia, and they gave me air miles.
You can't say that. All right, good job.
All right, Dr. D, looking at the scores, and Brian has won. What did he win?
Brian, you win 2 whole minutes where No Filter Paul won't interrupt you. You can talk about whatever you want. You can do some jokes from your set. Whatever you'd like to do, you got 2 minutes starting now, buddy.
Oh, my God. I like how you specified No Filter Paul won't interrupt me. He has not interrupted me once this entire time, so I think that's a little rude. But anyway, I guess I'm going to do some material then. So I have been talking to my mom recently. I think, generally sons do that. My mom's weird because she does this voice where she talks about my dad and she makes him sound like the biggest moron on the planet. I don't know if anyone else does this. Like, if my parents would be fighting when I was a kid, I would hear her talk to her little girlfriends on the phone, and she would be like, "Oh, well, I was talking to Robert the other day, and he said, why don't we get a divorce?" Like, that's how she talks about my dad. But it's weird because she'll do it even when they're not fighting, right? Like, she'll just be talking like in a neutral way, and she'll be like, "Oh, Brian, I was talking to your father the other day, and he was saying, well, it's a good idea to get into investing," like for the most like mundane shit. It's like, what are you doing, Mom? But yeah, my mom has all sorts of weird little quirks like that. Like, she'll text me and then get mad when my response isn't long enough. I don't know if anyone else has had that happen to them. Like, she'll be like, "How are you, Brian James, my baby boy, my sweet little man, my favorite prince in the whole world?" Like mom stuff. And I'll reply, "I'm good," because that's all I have to say about my day. And then she'll reply, "Brian, my sweet little baby boy, why do you hate me?" Like, it's not, I don't understand it. Like, she thinks I'm blowing her off, but, like, I'm just an efficient speaker. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm not dying, I'm good, and that's all I have to say. And I developed that skill specifically so I could ignore my mom. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird thing. But, like, she always asks me, she's like, "Brian, why can't you give me longer answers?" And I'm like, "Mom, I know you love me more than anything in the world, but I also know you love Dad more than anything in the world. And I've seen the way you talk about him. If I give you more than 3 words out of my mouth, you're going to go to all your friends and be like, 'Oh, well, I was talking to Brian the other day, and he said, oh, well, work has been okay.'" I'm like, "Mom, this is why I don't talk to you, all right?" That's my time. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, good job, Brian. And Brian, the reason I said No Filter Paul won't interrupt you, obviously you've never been at a show or a mic where No Filter Paul's in the audience.
I don't interrupt in shows, to be clear. Shows, no.
I like that.
All right, relax. Just making a joke. Jeez. All right. You can find our funny comedians that joined us tonight on the Instagram. Our first comedian, DeWayne White, you can find at ddub.comedy. Our winner for this evening, Brian Boucher, you can find on Instagram at brian.boucher. And our friend No Filter Paul, you can find on Instagram at No Filter Paul. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. Be sure to follow Wingin It on Instagram at Wingin It Comedy. That's WINGINIT Comedy. Wingin It is a production of Headspacing Timing Comedy. I am Dr. D, and we'll see you next time, hopefully.